Hello, this is J183, and it's another episode of Pierre's Path to Glory, the Belgian Grand Prix this time. As you can see, it's raining in practice here at Spa-Francorchamps, and it should be a very exciting race because Spa is one of my favourites on the calendar, and hopefully I can get a good result here after my few wins recently in Germany and Hungary. But now onto track acclimatisation test, and it's a wet Spa, which is probably one of the most challenging circuits on the calendar trying to drive Spa in the wet, as I found out in AOR last season, but we don't talk about that. And so track acclimatisation, it's not quite purple thanks to a red score and a few greens in there. But then later on in the session it actually got to heavy rain, so I did the qualifying pace test in the heavy rain, which is definitely the most challenging track on the calendar in these conditions. So you can see a massive bit of oversteer through Blanchimont that you just have to catch. And when I've had that, is pretty difficult to do. So yeah, Spa in heavy rain, I'm not a particular fan of it. It's fun, but I'm also really slow at it. But nevertheless, onto the qualifying pace, it's just slightly up on the time at the minute. It should be good enough for green score, probably not purple. But yes, it is green score. It's predicting myself to come third, but it's not really these conditions in qualifying. As you can see, it is pretty much dry, and there's no sign of rain in the clouds. It is dark, it's overcast, but no rain in those clouds, so it's going to be dry in qualifying. Let's get into the qualifying run. Here is the first one in qualifying, and a few cars have set the time so far. And just ahead of me there is a Ferrari. I'm not sure who that is, but they're about to set their first time. Let's see if I can beat him. It's Sebastian Vettel with a 46.879. And I just about beat it with a 46.3, so a half a second quicker than Vettel, which is quite good because the Ferrari is one of the quicker cars on the grid. It's about third or fourth at the minute. And now this is my second run in qualifying, and it's my best run in qualifying, and I'm just about a tenth and a half up on my previous time, which is already purple. So we got purple even more, 146.2 that time. So on to qualifying result. There is pole position, just a tenth ahead of Nico Carey, doing very, very well in his Toro Rosso. And that is quite good for him, and he 10th off me. And then Ricciardo third in his Mercedes, 3/10 off, with Hulkenberg as well doing a very strong showing in fourth place, with Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, and Carlos Sainz, Raikkonen all being disappointed there with their results. With Valtteri Bottas 10th and Kevin Magnussen in 11th place in the Renault. And then the bottom half of the grid is completely 2x2 with Julian Palmer alongside his teammate, with then the two McLarens, two Matters, two Force Indias ahead of both Haas cars, and the two Sauers bring up the rear, with the likes of Alonso and Button doing quite well, and the Manners doing very well to get ahead of the Force Indias and the Haas cars, even though the Manor is quite good lately. But let's get into the race.
Held at Spa between 1950 and 2015. The race winner has only started from pole position on 16 occasions. Qualifying yesterday may have set the order for today, but expect the unexpected here at the Belgian Grand Prix. As the saying goes, of course, anything can happen. And you know what? It usually does.
So race strategy, and it's going to be a fully dry race, so that leaves us with the three dry compounds of super soft, soft and medium to use for the race. And onto 5 red lights now for the Belgian Grand Prix. And it is lights out, and where we go, Nico Carey alongside doesn't get a great start, but the Mercedes of Daniel Ricciardo does right behind me. And it's going to be, I might just about lead into turn 1 here, and I leave space for Ricciardo on the inside in case he puts his nose in, but he doesn't, which is good for him. And now it's still leading up towards Eau Rouge for the first time. The yellow flag at the back, as you can see on the mini-map, about a load of cars, there's a whole cluster of them stuck just after La Source hairpin, but up Eau Rouge for the first time. Very, very exciting corner, and we get a decent run through there. And Ricciardo looks like he's just not close enough to challenge me into Le Con, but Carey is close enough to Ricciardo, so Carey's going back up the inside in his Toro Rosso on the Mercedes car, and I don't think he's got it done though. So the Daniel Ricciardo in his Mercedes are going to retain second place for the time being, with Carey dropping from second to third off the grid, so not too good for him. But now on to the end of lap 3. And you can just see I've got a little bit of a lead already, but not amazing. So we'll pit in very soon as the tyres are getting slightly worn. But it is purple lap 150.4, so very well done to myself for that, if I do say so myself. Just building up that gap. I don't have to know the whole season pretty much. Once I get a good start, just try and run away with it. But now onto the replay at the start, and you can see, I don't know what happened in the midfield, but there was a load of cars that got stuck. But my start was very good. Ricciardo was good as well, just to get ahead of Nico Carey. Hulkenberg looked up the inside of Carey, maybe in challenge for a podium, but it didn't come off. And then you can see in the midfield there's a Williams in the background. Not sure who that was, but now up to Eau Rouge for the first time. Here we'll see Nico Carey having a challenge at Daniel Ricciardo in his Mercedes. And Nico Carey has been very impressive this season. He's not quite matched Carlos Sainz, but he's been unlucky with engine failures as such. And he's quite a long way off his teammate, but recently he's been much better, getting that pole position a few races ago. But now into Le Con, and Ricciardo manages to hold him off in his Mercedes, just going right around the outside of Le Con. Very nice move by Ricciardo, and that leaves Carey in third place, just ahead of Nico Hulkenberg in the chasing pack. But now we'll have a look at what happened in the midfield, so I'm not quite sure. Here's Julian Palmer, who qualified about 12th place, I think. And it was a good start from his teammate Magnussen, who's going to challenge Raikkonen for 10th. And a good start from the Williams Bottas ahead, but Palmer crashed into the back of Raikkonen, no surprise there. and then you can just see ahead, Raikkonen just spears into Bottas, like collects Alonso and Palmer. I think that's Esteban Ocon in the manor as well, so pretty, and Sergio Perez on the left hand side there, so all sorts of cars getting caught up in that first corner crash. And here's Valtteri Bottas, who got a very good start from I think 10th place or 9th, and he goes alongside Carlos Sainz, crashes into Vettel as well. It's a lot of argy-bargy into turn 1, and it's about 3 wide with the Renault on the inside and the Toro Rosso, but you can just see Raikkonen cuts across, and then Bottas spins into Alonso, who also collects Sergio Perez. So here's the view from Perez. He got an unbelievable start from 19th. I don't know how he was caught up in Bottas instantly. He started like 9th, so Perez, very impressive start, and he goes up the inside of both Manners, and the McLaren's ahead, and he absolutely dive bombs his way into turn 1. He gets up to about 12th or 13th, and then you can just see Raikkonen cut across on Bottas, and Perez get caught on the rear wheel. Very unlucky by Sergio Perez, because he very nearly made it through that, and that would have been a massive gain for him. But now on to lap 5. I've gone a few laps longer than everyone else, but my teammate Verstappen also hasn't pitted yet. I'm going to come into the pits this lap as the tyres have really gone over the edge. Verstappen carries on for another lap. I'm going to come into the pits. I probably will get undercut because I've gone 2 laps further than Nico Carey and Daniel Ricciardo. So, but I'm going to go onto medium tyres now. A change from the strategy that you saw at the start. I'm going to try and go onto mediums, and then at the end go back onto super soft tyres. Hopefully that will pay off, because the other drivers will either be going medium soft or soft soft, and hopefully this is the quicker strategy. But as you can see, there is Fernando Alonso, or Jenson Button I think, in his McLaren. And here is Nico Carey, and it's going to be very, very close up towards Eau Rouge. He's got a better run through La Source as I was coming out the pit lane, but now up Eau Rouge on these new tyres, I don't know how to take it because they're still very cold. But Nico Carey's got an excellent run through there. He's in the slipstream now. He won't have DRS because the detection line was too early, but Nico Carey nonetheless is going to go around the outside. And he's got the straight line speed on me. He's on soft, as you just saw there. And Nico Carey takes the net lead of this race. It's actually 2nd place as Jenson Button's in the lead. Actually, it's 3rd place because Verstappen still hasn't pitted. Neither has Button. But Button's going long into the rest of the race on medium. So now onto the lap, later on in the lap, and I'm going to have a look at Nico Carey. My tyres are warmed up now up the inside of I'm not sure, of Pouon, I think this corner is. And he goes, I go deep into the corner though. Nico Carey pulls the over and under and goes back past me into 3rd place on net lead. And here is the midfield scrap with a Sauber hasn't pitted yet, and the car coming out of the pits with Hamilton. And there's an engine failure in the background for Pascal Wehrlein, and he had an engine failure a few rounds ago as well. So Force India not doing very well this season, and another engine failure there for Pascal Wehrlein. He's been very unlucky, and now on to lap 8. A few laps later, here is the yellow flag for Wehrlein on the right hand side. Vettel set fastest lap, but now here's Nico Carey. I think this is Jenson Button ahead, and we're both going to try and overtake him now, but I've got a much better run through Eau Rouge. Carey's going around the outside of Button. I'm going to go up the inside. It's like Ricardo Zonta and Hakkinen and Schumacher back in 1999 or 98, I'm not quite sure. I think it was 99 though, and Nico Carey just about stays ahead of Jenson Button, and so do I, but he stays ahead of me as well, which is disappointing because now a lap later and I'm going to try and do exactly the same thing. But this time there's no Jenson Button to get in the way, so Carey won't have the slipstream, and this is for the lead of the race. I'm going to go up the inside, down a Kemmel straight, and hopefully overtake him straight away. Yes we do, and into Le Combe. It's quite a straightforward move, and I'm now back up into the lead on those medium tyres, but he's going to have the advantage for the rest of the stint on soft tyres. And a lap later you can just see this is probably going to get pretty repetitive because the slipstream on this game is so OP that he's just going to go straight around the outside, and I'm going to leave him the space because there's no point trying to fight it really with this amount of slipstream. Carey goes back into the lead, and this is going to be quite a repetitive thing, I assume, as Hamilton sets fastest lap on a different strategy. I'm not quite sure what he's doing at the minute. But now onto lap 12, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. A few laps later, Nico Carey, I've got the slipstream on him, but it's not quite as clear cut that time because I was I've actually gone deep into Le Combe, and Carey's going to go right on the outside, so I don't know what happened that previous lap. I must have made a mistake somewhere, but I wasn't quite as close to overtake down the Kemmel straight. But now, a lap later, I am close enough, so it's going to be quite a straightforward DRS pass once again, and all I'm doing now is like wasting his soft tyres, which is quite helpful because it means that my mediums can go further than his softs, and hopefully I can stretch his mediums to be able to go onto super softs at the end of the race. But now, a few laps later, onto the end of lap 13 actually, the very same lap, and Carey is going to get impatient here because I've always been pretty weak through those through Stavolo. And Carey is going to get a good run through there. He's going to go to the outside. He's going to try around the outside of Blanchimon. This will be an amazing move if it comes off. I'm going to have to leave him in the space because I don't want to crash there. That would be a very high-speed crash. Nico Carey has absolutely pulled a whirly around the outside of Blanchimon there. Very well done to him. And now he's going very slowly through the bus stop chicane, but now he's going to come into the pits. So it's pretty much in vain anyway, as I'm just going to retake the lead. But Verstappen's also in the pits from just behind me as well. He's just on the minimap. And here is Carey on the soft tyres. What's he going to pit onto? I assume it would be another set of softs from here. As he pulls into the Toro Rosso garage, and yes it is, another set of soft tyres. And Verstappen also, I think that's a set of mediums so for Verstappen, so very odd strategy from the the Red Bull boys. But now onto lap 17. A few laps later, my tyres have pretty much got off the edge on these medium tyres, but I've gone far enough to be able to go onto the super softs for the end of the race. But I have probably given up the undercut, so Carrie is going to undercut me, and maybe even Verstappen is going to undercut me, I'm not quite sure. But I will have the super soft tyres compared to his older softs, so I will have the tyre advantage. But so it's going to be a chase, but it's going to be very, very close probably. And there is Carrie going around turn 1 now. You just saw on the minimap, and Verstappen's going down the pit straight as well. So Carrie out of Lecom already, and he's already got the lead. So I'm about 2 or 3 seconds behind Nico Carrie, who's on course so far to win his race, win his first race of his career. But now going towards Pouon on lap 19, and we're going to almost look to the inside there, but no, we get much better grip, and we get look around the outside for the second part of Pouon, up the inside now, force Carrie over the curb, and that is a very nice move if it comes off, which it has done, and through Savalo we have the position now, but running onto the curb quite badly. As I said earlier, Savalo's been my weak part the whole race pretty much. And now Carrie might have the good run, and he might even go, he's going to try it again, he's going to go around the outside of Blanchimont, it looks like. I'm going to have to leave him the space on the outside, and he's still there on the outside, so I've got to go take a shallow line, which means I'm actually going to run off the circuit now, which isn't ideal because it means that I've got to give him the position back, because if I rejoin at higher speed I might just crash into him, but now through the bus stop, once again he's going slowly. So I am faster than him pretty much everywhere apart from Stavalo, which is pretty disappointing because that means he can keep banging on me around the outside of Blanchimont, which isn't ideal because it's pretty much embarrassing. But never mind, I've got DRS now on Carrie, and it's going to be hopefully a repeat of what we saw earlier in the race of just going like slipstream past each other down the Kemmel Straight, and I've just got to stay with him through a Rouge, and then hopefully that will become the case. But now it's going to be a fight to the end. There's only 3 laps remaining now of this Belgian Grand Prix. Who is going to win? It could be me, Verstappen, who knows, but now the DRS is going to become active. I'm going to retake the lead of Nico Carrie. But thanks to that slipstream, he's just going to keep just staying with me. So the super softs help me pass him, but then through the first sector, the DRS and the slipstream just helps him massively to keep up. So it's not a clear-cut thing now. Carrie could come back at me. Now onto the second last lap of the race, I've actually gone wide for Eau Rouge, get a bad run through there, and Carrie is now going to get a massive slipstream, a good DRS toe, and he's just going straight past me again. So this is pretty frustrating because with only 1 lap to go after this one, Carrie is going to, it looks like he's going to win unless I can do something about it. But hopefully I can just stay with him now, and onto the end of the lap I'm going to go up the inside of the bus stop chicane, and I've actually braked way too late, gone massively deep. Carrie's going to do the over and under once again. It's to go around the outside of the bus stop chicane down towards turn 1. He's actually got that position. So now this is the very last lap, one of my last opportunities. I'm going to go around the outside, but then Carrie has completely cut me off there. He's not left any space on the outside there. He did what Verstappen did to Raikkonen in the real life race of 2016. But no, I'm going to go up the inside. He's going to absolutely like hold it on the outside of Lecom. Very, very nice defensive move. He blocks me completely. There's a lot of contact, but there's no harm done as these tyres are now almost at the end of their life. But now this is the final opportunity. I've got to do a massive dive on here if I want to win this race, which I do. So it's going to be the very last corner. Can we go for a move? It's a massive lunge. The force Carrie ride, but he's going to have a much better run through the final corner. Who is going to win this race? Verstappen's not far behind. Carrie holds it around the inside. I've got to try and get a good run. It's going to be a drag race to the line. I do not know who's going to win and who has won this race. It says that I've won. That must have been the closest thing I've ever witnessed. So I have no idea how close that was. And it was actually level. The game says it was level across the line. So I win the race from Nico Carrie in second, Max Verstappen third, with Kimi Raikkonen fourth, Hulkenberg fifth. Well done to him. Good result for Williams. With Sebastian Vettel sixth, Carlos Sainz seventh, with Jenson Button mastering a 1 stop to 8th, with Ricciardo and Hamilton falling down to the low end of the points in their Mercedes cars, which is disappointing. Valtteri Bottas in 12th, not equaling his teammate on a 3-stop strategy there. Johnny Palmer, George Russell, Charles Leclerc in his Haas, with Esteban Ocon, Fernando Alonso, Sergio Perez after that spin in turn 1. Will Stevens just beating his teammate Giovinazzi, well done to him. And Kevin Magnussen, I don't know what happened to him, but he's 21st, with Pascal Bell and DNFing. And the Drivers' Championship now, I have almost a 100-point lead over Max Verstappen, my teammate. So it's looking very, very good for the title at this point in the season. Nico Carrie also moves closer to Sebastian Vettel, with Carlos Sainz still in 6th. So the gap is coming down between the Toro Rosso teammates after a very good result for Carrie. He didn't get the win, but he got 2nd place anyway. And this is how close it was. I don't know how the game has said that I won this, but coming up to the line, this is on board with Carrie's front wing. And there is me on the right hand side that we're looking at, and that was the gap across the line. So I'm not entirely sure why the game has said I've won, but it said I won anyway. As you saw, going across the line, it said 1st place. So yeah, that is pretty disappointing to Carrie, but I'll take it, and it's another race win for Pierre Gasly. And if you like this video, leave a like on it, subscribe if you want to see more. This has been JN183, and I will see you next time.